Hi, welcome to my channel. Today, we are gonna be making treats for my neighbors for Christmas. It's one of my favorite things to do every single year, so I'm excited to bring you along for the ride. And if you are new to my channel, I created this channel as a homeschooling resource to do different curriculum ideas, organizational ideas, and ways to invite Christ into your homeschool space. So if you're interested in those things, please hit that subscribe button. And let's talk about these treats. So I've mentioned several times on this channel how much I love to bake and to cook. It is one of my favorite things to do. I don't have a huge sweet tooth. I just don't love super sweet things, but I still love to bake, and I'll, trying a little bit here and there to make sure everything tastes good is usually sufficient for me. And I grew up in the kitchen with my mom and my grandma and just baking all the time. And I really want to create those intergenerational ties with my children as well. So I just love to continue baking and cooking with them. And even though it's frustrating, it's hard, right? You could do it better and faster yourself sometimes than you can when your kids are in the kitchen. But I think it's important for them to be able to learn how to cook and also just to spend time with me, and to have that fun time together. And so they probably won't be in the kitchen very much with me during this video, during making these treats for my neighbors, because I try to be very careful when I'm making treats for other people. And it's, this year, so I'm trying to be even more careful. And so they might make occasional appearances, or some of my older kids might help me with a few things, but they might not be in here very much. But I figured I would just share my process with you, including, going to the grocery store. I won't have footage of me in the grocery store, but I'll show you my grocery haul and then just kind of show you me going through some of the baking process, and then we'll package everything up. And then usually my kids and my husband deliver them. So we're gonna start off by getting the groceries. So I have a list written right here in my planner. This is a planner I just recently talked about. I have my new one for next year. And so I'll link that video up here down below so you can check it out if you're interested in learning more about this planner. But I made a list of all the things I needed. Most of it is for the treats. There's a few things that are not just things we're running low on, or I figured since I'm going to the store, I'll just grab them anyway. So there'll be a few other things besides just the treat stuff. And then on this side, I have a list of the things we're gonna be making. And so I'm excited to share those with you. So we're gonna first view my grocery haul and go through that. And then we're gonna get in the kitchen and we're gonna get baking. Okay, so here's my grocery haul for our treats for neighbors, and then also a few other things over here. So I figured I'd just show you everything that I got. So we'll start with stuff for treats. So some of the stuff I already have in my pantry, baking stuff, and a few things we're getting from Sam's Club, but these are the things I still needed. So I got some different sprinkles. There's some chocolate ones. These ones are a little bit more wintry ones, and some Christmas ones just to kind of decorate a few of the treats that we're making. Got some marshmallow fluff, 2 cans of that for fudge. And then I got some melting chocolate, just the white chocolate to use to cover a few things and to do our popcorn with some white chocolate. And then over here I have the dry roasted, lightly salted almonds. Those go in our fudge as well, and they're very delicious. And then I have a whole bunch of different chocolate surprises over here. So we have candy cane kisses. So I make the chocolate blossoms with those and put those in the middle. It's been a tradition for years and my husband loves it, so we keep doing that. I got the mini M&Ms just in case. I wasn't quite sure if I was going to use them, but I picked them up, and if not, we'll use them for something else or for birthdays for ice cream sundaes and stuff. And then I got more caramel. I just like getting the bits. These make my life so much easier than having to unwrap caramel. And I can find these all the time at Walmart. Whereas the caramel bites, whatever they're called, these are called caramel bites, the little pieces that you have to unwrap, you can't always find there. And then we have some mini chocolate chips for meringues that are supposed to be hot chocolate meringues. Then we have white chocolate here as well to melt kind of with this, just to kind of enrich the flavor. We have milk chocolate that we're going to use for fudge and for a few other things for dipping as well. And then I have a whole bunch of dark chocolate that we will use for dipping stuff in, and I don't know what else exactly, maybe for coating some of the popcorn. And then we use dark chocolates. It's kind of our snack. We don't really have a whole lot of sweet snacks, so this is what we snack on. And I buy Ghirardelli, as you can see here. That's what they have at Walmart. And so this is what I buy. and I don't really like the lesser chips, even though they're cheaper. These taste better, they melt better, they're just overall better. So this is what I like to get. And then I got 3 cans of sweetened condensed milk that I'm gonna use for the fudge, and then maybe a few other things, I'm not sure, and then just to have in my pantry if I need them. And then I have some pecans. I'm gonna make some like toffee shortbread cookies, so these will go in that. And I got a few more bags to decorate. These ones kind of have the seal at the top. You don't have to tie them. So I like that. And then a few other boxes. I have some stuff left from last year, but I didn't know if it would be enough. So I got a few extra things. And then back here, I have pretzels that we're gonna cover in chocolate. So I'm excited about that. And so it was an idea from my home ec school friends. So I'm excited to try those ones. And then I got peppermint to crush up. I couldn't find any that's already crushed at my Walmart, so we'll have to crush them. And then some whipping cream. I can't remember exactly what this is going into, but we got that because we needed it. It was on the list. And then some coconut flakes, because I'm gonna make these caramel type coconut macaroons, and they're delicious. So I got a bunch of coconut, and then I got some more cornstarch because the shortbread cookies use that, which makes them really nice and like melty. So those are our baking things that we're gonna use for all the treats for our neighbors. But then let me just show you the few other things that we got. So we were out of gum, so we have an array of gum here. I have kids that like cinnamon, grape, and mint, and some that like all of them. And then I got this stuff right here, the pita chips. Well, this is the pita bread that we're gonna make into pita chips. Some dill, which I don't really love buying it this way because it's a lot more expensive, but it's just harder to find in a different way at Walmart. And then the cucumber, and I already have yogurt because for our Atlas crate, we're gonna be making tzatziki. And so stay tuned for that video to pop up. So I got those things. They had a bunch of berries, which has been on and off hard for me to find berries. So I just got a whole bunch of berries at Walmart, and then some mushrooms because I just always like to have lots of vegetables on hand. Usually I only go to a store once a week. So one week we go to Sam's Club, the next week I go to Walmart. But since I was already there getting all this stuff over here, I just added a few things on that I wanted and needed in my house. And so that's why we have a few extra groceries here. And then I didn't know if we'd have enough stuff to make pizza on Fridays. We've been having pizza lately, so I got a few more things for that, mozzarella and pepperoni. And then, oh, the lemons are also for the tzatziki over here. And then I got some more zucchini because I love my zucchini. And apples to snack on. When I was getting the other pretzels for the treats, I saw these ones, the everything pretzels, and I was like, we gotta try those. So I got those as well for a little snack. And then candy canes, I don't get a ton of them, but my kids just look forward to putting them on the tree and eating them. So they only get one a day, and once they're gone, so they can skip a day if they want, but that's all they get. And then we usually make a gingerbread house. It's kind of just become a tradition. It's on our advent calendar. And since I don't like to have tons of extra candy in the house, I don't like to do it with graham crackers and just buy our own candy. I'd rather do it in the kits. And this is what I could find this year. Sometimes I find the ones that have 4 houses on them, and then I can just split all of them between my kids. But they didn't have any at Walmart this year, and they didn't have any last week either there. So I was just like, okay, we'll get these, and just 2 kids can work on one and 2 kids can work on the other one. So that's what we have there. And then I got some wipes because even though I don't have any more kids in diapers, wipes are still very helpful and we use them a lot. And so I have the wipes. And then toilet paper, is this toilet paper? I think so. So we got some toilet paper and the candy orange sitting on top. My kids love these and we don't get them very often. Again, I'm just not one to buy treats for my kids especially, or for myself. And so they wanted to try it, and I said we were only getting one and they had to share it. Otherwise they get none. So we have that. And then down here on the floor is the paper towels, I think. So they've been a little bit more in and out of stock again lately. So whenever I see them, I just try to pick some up because otherwise we will run out. So that is the grocery haul. So I'm excited to show you all the yummy goodness we're gonna make with all this baking stuff over here. Okay, so now I have all the grocery supplies, and so I'm just gonna go through my list. It is Thursday, and I'm gonna be doing most of my baking on Friday. but I want to prep anything I can today. And normally I would just sit in the kitchen and talk to you guys, but my husband is finishing up finals with his students and talking to them over Zoom, and I don't want to interrupt him with my talking. But it's okay if I'm filming in the kitchen and not talking. So we'll film me baking and prepping some things. I just figured it'd be quieter for him if I was talking to you back here. So I have the list, and I just want to make sure that I kind of do things in a good order. I like timing to be just right when I'm baking stuff, and I like these treats to go out before it gets dark, just because my kids and my husband are delivering them and it gets cold anyways. You know, and since it's winter, it's usually getting dark around like 5 o'clock. And so if I can have stuff done by 4, then that would be good. But if I try, in the past, I've tried to just do everything on Friday, or at least most of it, and it just ends up being too rushed, and then it's just kind of crazy at the end. So I want to try to prep as much as I can today so that I can have everything ready to go tomorrow and not be so rushed at the end to try to get stuff delivered before it's dark. So I'm gonna go through my list and look at the recipes and decide what I can prep early and what things I can do today, and then we'll finish everything up tomorrow. So I'll kind of show you that process as I'm going through and looking at all the different recipes, and then we'll get into the kitchen and start prepping. Okay, so some of my recipes are in this recipe book. I believe I got it when I got married. I'm not really sure, but I've kept a few of the recipes I really want my kids to be able to have, like just to turn to, and adjustments I've made to them. So I put it in here so that they can have it. But this is the fudge recipe. It's salted almond fudge truffles. And so I'm just looking at this, and the fudge I'm gonna make tonight. And so I might even make the balls tonight. We'll see if we get that far, just because this is one of the things that takes the longest. Waiting for the fudge to cool and then having to roll all the balls before I can dip them in chocolate takes a really long time. So I'm gonna do that tonight. And then I make zebra popcorn, like the kind you buy from Costco, I guess. I don't know, I've never really bought it there. It's not my favorite thing because it's so sweet, but people love it. So I'm gonna make the popcorn tonight because I have to sort through it and pull out all the good kernels and make sure there's no seeds in it. So I'm gonna make sure that's all prepped, because then I can just easily coat it with sugar tomorrow and put it in the oven. And then the last thing that's in this book is the candy cane blossom cookies. It's like where you put the candy cane kisses in the middle. I don't think I'm gonna do any prep for this tonight unless it's just unwrapping the candy cane blossoms, but I might have my kids do that. That's something that they like to do, and I'm okay with them doing that for this activity as long as they have washed their hands, especially if it's my older kids, because I can trust them not to like put them in their mouth or rub their nose or something like that. So that's what's in here. And then a few other things that I'm gonna make that I wrote down here is to make meringues. So I'm making hot chocolate meringues. And so I can prep those tonight. And so I'm gonna do that. And then I'm gonna make these salted caramel coconut macaroons, and they're quite delicious. And so I am going to try to grate up the coconut tonight. I've made it with the longer strips of coconut, but I feel like it'll work better if I can get it a little bit finer. But there wasn't sweetened fine coconut at Walmart. There was just unsweetened. And so I'm gonna do that tonight as well. And then I'm looking at the shortbread cookies on my computer, and I'm gonna figure out if there's anything I can prep tonight for those. So let's look at it and see. Okay, so it doesn't really look like there's much I can do to prep for the shortbread cookies. I might toast the pecans because I'm gonna do those in a toffee shortbread cookie, so maybe I'll do that tonight. But then other than that, I think that's about all the prep for that. So I'm gonna get started on these things down here and see how much progress we can make. And then we'll be in the kitchen some more tomorrow. Okay, so I got the fudge in the fridge so it can cool down, and then I'll have to form it into balls. Again, I don't know if I'll get that done tonight or tomorrow. I got the popcorn popped right here, if I can hold it up. So that we'll use to make our zebra popcorn tomorrow. I toasted the pecans and chopped them really small. Those will be for our toffee shortbread cookies. Shortbread is like one of my favorite desserts, like if I got to choose, I think because it's not super sweet, but I just love the buttery texture. And then I got the coconut all pureed up. Pureed sounds weird to describe coconut, but I guess I put it in the food processor and kind of ground it so it's a little bit finer. So it'll just make these cookies a little bit easier. I've done it with it as long strips of coconut, but I feel like it'll be a little bit better if it's finer. And I want to make them smaller, the little coconut balls. You'll see what I mean when I do make them. I want to make them smaller than I did last time I made this recipe. And so it'll be easier to make them smaller if I don't have big strings of coconut sticking out everywhere. And so that's what I did here. So this is all ground up and ready to make the, what are they? Caramel coconut macaroons, I think. And they're dipped in chocolate. So they're delicious, delicious, delicious. So I think that's about all. I'm gonna get the meringues. I need to make those and put those in the oven. But other than that, I think we're done for the night. We're almost ready for dinner, get kids to bed, and then I have to work on some other things tonight. So I will see you tomorrow and we will keep on cooking. Okay, so we have the treats done. It's been kind of a long day, but we managed to get most of it done. There's a few things I cut out that we weren't gonna get to, but I'll explain that later. So I just figured I'd show them all to you, and then we're gonna box them up and take them to our neighbors. It is snowing outside. I don't know if you can tell very well, but that's okay. We'll still go in the snow. So here is a shortbread, kind of like a Twix sort of a thing. They have caramel in the middle. So those are delicious. Sorry, the lighting's not super great. It's overcast outside and everything, and nighttime almost. So that's those. And then here we have some fudge that has almond in it, and then it has sea salt on top. So these are delicious. They're dipped in dark chocolate. And then these ones are one of my favorite new things. I didn't love coconut growing up, but I do like it most of the time now. And this is one of the desserts I really like it in. So this is a salted caramel macaroon. And so we have the coconut here, this part of it, and then it's sprinkled with sea salt, and it has milk chocolate on the bottom and some on the top. So those are delicious. And then these are meringues. They're supposed to be like hot chocolate meringues. That's what they're called. So they have chocolate chips in them. And I added a little bit of peppermint. I almost dipped them in chocolate and put a little bit more peppermint on them, but I just ran out of time to do that. So they're delicious like this. We have more shortbread cookies. These are the same base as those ones over there, but I just used a fork and made a design on the top and put sprinkles on them. And then these are shortbread again, because I just love shortbread. And these ones have pecans in them and toffee bits. So they look really scrumptious. So we have those things, and then our boxes are all right over there. So you can see those. And on this countertop, we have our candy cane blossom cookies. These I started making several years ago and they've just become a Christmas tradition. So now we always make them. So we have a bunch of them. And then the last thing we have, I have it on all the counter space. We use all the counter space this time of year, is our zebra popcorn. So this is really, really delicious. It's just kind of like a candied popcorn. And then it has white chocolate, dark chocolate, and milk chocolate on the top of it. So now we're gonna box all this stuff up and we're gonna take it to our neighbors. So it's the next day from making treats. It was a very exhausting day yesterday. So I didn't film an outro because I was exhausted and just wanted to collapse. So it was a fun day. I enjoy it, but it's also just tiring, and you know, just by the end of the day, I'm done being in the kitchen. But I had a lot of fun, and there was a few treats that I cut out that I was planning on making, but just didn't end up having time. When it came down to the wire, I just didn't have time to do them. So one of them was chocolate covered pretzels, which was a last minute addition anyways. From one of my friends had posted them, and I really wanted to try them. So I still have the stuff to do that. So maybe on Christmas Day or a few days leading up to Christmas, I'll just let my kids do it and have fun with dipping pretzels in chocolate and dipping them in peppermint, like candy canes and stuff, because I think that would be a lot of fun for them. They get to participate, whereas yesterday they wouldn't have been able to participate. So I didn't do that. And then I also was gonna dip the meringues in chocolate and sprinkle them with a little bit more peppermint, but I just didn't have time to do that. In the end, I was like, well, they're fine this way, and I'm not gonna spend the extra time dipping them in chocolate when we're trying to get stuff out, especially because it decided to snow on us yesterday. It like waited all day until the very end, so my kids loved it. They were out walking around in the snow. I don't have like any footage of that, but they thought it was a lot of fun, and most of the treats were to direct neighbors really close to us, so they just walked. There were a few that we wanted to drive. My husband went to one house, but we live on hills, like up on the side of a mountain. And so it was a little bit dangerous. The roads hadn't been cleared yet, and they weren't covered in very much snow, but it was a little slippery. So he delivered one and then decided not to do the other ones because they were down bigger hills and it would require a lot more work with our four-wheel drive to get back up them. And so he's gonna go do that today and deliver them. But other than that, it was a success. We had lots of fun, and I'll make sure all the recipes are down below. Some of them might be directly from my blog because I have the original links, but some of them I've changed slightly. Just I thought they were better, or they better met the needs that we had when I was making them. So I'll make sure those are all listed down below. If you'll just click on that blog post, you'll be able to find them all. And I would love to know what kind of treats or traditions that you guys have. You know, maybe you always make a certain kind of food for Christmas, or you always make certain treats maybe for neighbors or family, or you go see lights somewhere, or anything. I would just love to hear what some of your traditions are, what some of your favorite like Christmas time foods are, and just put those down below in the comments, because I love hearing from you, and it also just gives me ideas of things I could make next year or things I could do with my family. And so if you enjoy seeing these types of videos, please give me a thumbs up. If you enjoy like having cooking type videos or maybe more kids in the kitchen type stuff, I would love to make videos for you about that kind of stuff if you are interested in seeing those. So please give me a thumbs up and let me know in the comments below if that's something that's interesting to you. And I will see you next time.